a single potential celui-là,
Ouais,
dans l'album, par rapport au reste.
J'y pensais aussi. Je pense que c'est un peu le morceau qui pourrait marcher pour nous. Ça et Sunday Heat.
Sunday Heat, c'est une intro.
Ok, ça s'est lancé. Le Scream. Boom.
Hey, buddy!
Hello!
You look like you're in tip-top shape.
I am. You too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Today we're gonna be talking about Towards the Core. 6th song on our album, yes?
That's a difficult thing to say.
6th song?
6th song on the album.
My first business or studio name was Sixth Sense Sound.
That's like shooting yourself in the foot.
It was.
Yeah.
Not only could I not... And I think my website was 6thhss.eu. Yeah.
Okay.
Impossible. So tell me, what's Towards the Core about?
So the main idea behind the song was to build everything based on a shuffle pattern, and to have this pattern moved around and arranged in many different ways. The main one being kind of a prog rock fusion vibe, and also to have a very heavy industrial feel to that same shuffle in some parts of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Very genty Ministry Meshuggah kind of vibe. And also a couple of other sections with like the rockabilly stuff, but all based on the same groove. Yeah, and in most cases it's the same pattern played in a different way. It's just we'll go into that. It's a very long pattern, so it kind of is like kind of hypnotic, and you kind of get lost in it. But there's an actual pattern that's several bars long. That's repeated in all sections.
Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I fucked it up. First bar. Okay. You do it. You do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The clearest version of that is here. Etc. So it is a long pattern. It took me forever to remember this.
Yeah, and the bass plays a very big role in presenting that pattern, especially in the beginning of the song. So you had a big task on your hand learning this stuff and playing it on the album.
It was the very last part I recorded.
Yeah.
It was the hardest part by far to get to really play it, especially because I really wanted to play it with the fingers, which I'm not necessarily sure. Looking back at it, it was such a good idea. Oh, God.
Attends, ouais. Commencer avec ça, c'est un peu short.
Ouais.
Tu sais quoi, je crois que c'est une question de juste l'avoir bien un tout petit peu moins vite. Et puis venir lâcher jusqu'à là.
T'as hâte de jouer ça en live, hein?
Non, du tout, absolument pas. Je sais pas du tout comment ça va se passer. Peut-être faire quand même au pic, hein.
Au moins tu sais qu'en live tu pourras jouer au pic.
Ouais. Tu penses quoi? En fait, je sais pas ce que je préfère. Je crois que ça peut être bien jouer très bien en doigt, mais je pense pas que je peux jouer très bien en doigt. Pas avant 2-3 semaines, tu vois. Merci Romain pour pour ces parties ultra casse-couilles. Je suis un bien meilleur bassiste aujourd'hui. Thanks.
Yeah, it's kind of fast at this point. It's kind of an up-tempo song, and playing shuffles up-tempo is it's a whole genre of music
It's
that I'm not familiar with.
It is like definitely just, as you're saying, it's something that I'm just not familiar with.
Yeah,
Like this type of things for some jazz cats or like rockabilly cats, it's easy. I still think this could have been a lot better on the bass. Could have both play it and hear it better in the final mix. I think my performance here didn't really help Julien mix it in a way that really pushed it forward. So because it's a difficult thing, and this is not very helpful. Like as soon as he gets into this pattern that actually follows what I'm playing,
it's getting easier.
it's much easier.
Not for him.
Not for him, and when we lock. Sometimes we lose ourselves here, and then it's woo!
Yeah, it's a pretty terrifying song to play live.
Honestly,
I feel
it is.
like
It really is.
anytime we go into this one, it's just like, okay, buckle up, let's see what happens.
Hope for the best, honestly.
Yeah, hope for the best. Yeah.
Very much.
So this pattern was the very first thing I came up with for this song.
Okay.
And there was no groove behind it, just the notes, the actual bass notes. And it was written with a very, very complicated time signature structure. So I think we can still see those markers above.
Oh, the 6-4-5-4-4-4 6-4-5-4-7-4.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it used to be way more complex in my mind, the way it was like divided and the way it
Okay.
was structured. And then I showed this to Pablo for when we had to come up with the drums. And he just went like he just played 4/4 groove. So this was all for nothing, but it's for the best because it's obviously way more groovy in the 4/4 way. But this just shows that sometimes you just overcomplicate stuff, and then it doesn't need to be. Even as a 4/4 groove, it's already very complex, so there's no need to even make it more
You mean like
sophisticated by adding some accents related to those time signatures, because that was the idea, like to underline those time signatures with like specific accents or fills that would be a bit like disjointed. But the groove itself is already kind of disjointed, so it doesn't need to not be in 4/4. We just kept it as is because it's simpler. Also, regarding the song itself, I feel like it has a very specific tone that no other song on the album really has.
Yeah.
I mean, there's kind of a sarcastic like undertone throughout the entire album, kind of comedic in a way.
Yeah. Here it's
very prevalent.
Yeah, it's very much on the front.
Yeah. Fairly catchy vocal melodies and kind of dreamy scapes of sound, and also kind of absurd lyrics. Very ironic in a way. But it's way less serious than some of the other songs on the album, even though it's, I think, as dark as the other ones, just in a different way. But it's funnily enough, I think it's the song on the album that's the closest to a standard verse-chorus structure, because there's definitely a verse and a chorus in terms of melodies, and it's basically verse-chorus, verse-chorus, bridge, verse-chorus, outro. It's just the way that it's played, the dynamics are very different.
Let's go through it in order.
Yeah. So maybe what we can just right off the bat, the first few bars, we hesitated as to how we would introduce this shuffle pattern, yeah.
Yep.
And I think eventually it's just Pablo playing on his rims. Is that right? Or is it like percussions?
No, it's a bunch of stuff. Je le ferai pas du tout sur la batterie en fait. Moi je pense que ce qu'on devrait faire c'est faire cette intro dans la session perc.
Possiblement.
Pour avoir
Moi,
un
moi ça me va
poste
qu'on
d'organisme,
réquisite un truc pour avoir une référence.
Oui, c'est
Au
ça,
pire,
voilà.
ça fait des trucs en plus, mais ouais.
Peut-être, donc là, je pense que c'est bon, on a l'info nécessaire, tu vas peut-être doubler ça avec ça, mais je pense que ce sera beaucoup plus riche au niveau sonore, ouais, de faire quelque chose avec des, je sais pas moi, des métal, tu vois, des trucs juste un peu plus organiques, même les kicks, d'avoir quelque chose, je sais pas moi, de les faire avec un caron, une connerie comme ça.
So that would be Pablo playing this rhythm on a few different sets of percussions, and we kind of combine it all together. If I remember at some point making like another, maybe it was this. This is some sound design, just the same rhythm but with some weird samples. I remember I made something as well at some point. So I think in the end we just combine a bunch of different elements playing this, and there's this sort of there's more and more that come in and just fill out the space.
Yeah, something that's also kind of specific to this song is how many guitar layers there are in many sections of the song, and most of them are not very present or forefront in the end result, but there's so many background layers of guitars like adding up to create texture and rhythm as well. And for instance, in that intro there's the acoustic guitar.
It's funny because this guitar does not jump out in the final version at all.
Glassy eyes and half open mouth. You're just so empty.
Now that I hear it,
Yeah, and more than anything, this acoustic guitar I think serves as a rhythm element because we heard the strumming quite a bit, but not the actual
It's a
chords
shaka shaka
themselves.
shaka shaka. It actually serves the role of like a hi-hat because there's no hi-hat, almost no hi-hat here. And then you add the vocals to it, and this whole thing becomes a song.
Glassy eyes and half open mouth. Mistakes you've made with slight amusement.
Yeah, really awesome.
I think
fun stuff.
this entire process was very uncomfortable because of it was a very big gamble. As the vocals come in last in the recording process and also in the writing process, this entire song was kind of on the fence up until that very last moment where the vocals came in. So I think none of us was kind of expecting.
No.
None of us knew what to expect from the song. It's very unusual for me to rely on the vocals to make or break a song. But I think this was the only moment I was really hoping for the vocals to help us make something out of it. So,
Did you feel like you achieved what you wanted to say with this one?
not in terms of performance, but in terms of melody, yeah.
In terms of your vocal performance, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
think it could have been way better, but I think the melodies are strong enough so that it kind of saves it. I think I could have been more theatrical in some moments and maybe less so in others.
Convection from your body to mine. Heat is matterless gold. Taking notes on what you've been constructing. Your frail empire.
Ici tu fais relativement froid un peu, enfin pas froid mais
Lisse.
c'est assez lisse, c'est pas très personnel. Ça peut fonctionner. On peut peut-être essayer un peu plus jouer, un peu plus ironique. Je pense que ça se justifie ici.
Looking back at all the mistakes you've made with slight amusement. Getting by with the living is a waste of time. It's so mundane now, dancing ashes we vaporized are hiding the night. We might as well dig down now.
Très cool.
I think the outro is not strong enough in terms of vocal performance.
Okay. Like not powerful.
Not powerful enough.
Your seasons rising before our stationary sun.
C'est là, elle pète.
À la base, je voulais faire rimer charade avec space et surface, parce que je pensais que ça se disait charade, mais ça se dit charade. Est-ce que du coup je garde charade, même si ça rime pas, ou est-ce que je change et je mets masquerade, et je mets un truc du style Soul remnants of this masquerade.
Et c'est avec quoi tu veux le faire rimer?
Vacant surface, the silence of space, surroundings of this masquerade. Hey, hey, hey. Soul remnants of this masquerade.
C'est surtout tu veux faire masquerade.
Soul remnants of this masquerade.
Ouais, c'est bien. Ouais, ça c'est cool.
Vacant surface, the silence of space, soul remnants of this masquerade.
Ouais, je sais pas comment tu vois ça en live.
I think I didn't write the vocal parts with my voice in mind.
Oh.
I just wrote stuff that I liked and then adapted my voice to sing those parts.
Halfway through this part, when the vocals stop, we have some electric guitars finally coming in. This is the first time.
That's what I meant earlier on. We're like 2 minutes in, not even 2 minutes in, and there's like 3 times 2 because it's all stereo.
Yeah.
So there's like 6 guitars. Ground.
Yeah, already like trying to build this whole thing. Yeah. And this one maybe we can also talk about it briefly here, especially the first half of the song. This was definitely one of the bigger mixing challenges.
Oh yeah.
Of the whole album.
Yeah, this was.
We were saying Spore was a really big one because Spore was basically this the whole most of the time.
Yeah.
And in this song, it was really clear when we first started receiving mixes from Julien for the first time that second half, like this stuff, sounded pretty much like this.
Yeah, it works.
On version 1.
Yeah.
It was really great. It just was just big and yeah, really cool. What actually, at least what I had in my ear when I was trying to imagine what it would sound like. But this first part.
Yeah, it's a very difficult section to mix with the components we have for the rest of the album. Like
Yes.
the guitar tones and the bass tones and the drums and everything that we had for the rest of the album, they don't fit very well with this kind of stuff.
It's definitely a big learning opportunity for me for Omnerod, sometimes be a bit less on the compromise.
Yeah.
And like if we want to have 4 minutes of this, then we need to be like, I know now for the future we just need to not take a compromise and just do it fully or not do it at all.
Yeah.
Because,
And also a big, I think, learning curve for us with this particular section. I think we found the limit to our approach, which is to craft dozens of layers of effects, kind of pre-mix them ourselves, not really knowing what we do, and then sending it all to Julien for mixing. Because then he doesn't know what to do of them.
No.
Because they're already kind of pre-mixed, so he doesn't have like full freedom with them. And overall it just creates a very big wall of mush and, different reverbs and different...
Yeah.
And it's very
I
difficult for him to kind of surgically go into it and make it sound...
What's interesting, let me maybe check a bit what's happening in the sound effects. These are cool. Some like Western stuff. Classics. yeah, classic mellotron orchestra, or I imagine it was not supposed to be mellotron-y, but
I think there's both in there.
Yeah,
An
maybe
orchestra
so.
and a mellotron.
mm. That's fun. Sure, that's in there.
See, that pads track is the problem here in
This
terms
one.
of mixing. Yeah,
Unnecessary.
it's
or
all over the place in
Yeah.
terms of frequencies and textures, because we have like maybe 5 or 6 different layers in there that we sent Julien as one.
Mhm.
And during the mixing stage, I was asking him to make this section like more lush, more ambience, more melody, more chords in the background. And so he played around with this track, obviously, but it's so dense that you either have something that's overall too raw and instrumental because you don't have the effects layers up front, or you decide to crank this up and then you have like a wall of
Yeah, just kind of filler noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah, that's
it's,
something that I've. Yeah.
when you know the arrangement is going to be dense, I think the lesson that we should take out of this is to focus on maybe 1 or 2 layers with very simple chords and notes, instead of like this like 6 or 7 note chords on like
Yeah.
5 different pads, which makes no sense. We were shooting over our heads in terms of arrangement here. Like I was playing around with stuff I didn't quite comprehend in terms of arrangement, and now I know.
A little bit better, at least.
yeah.
We'll see. I'll let you guys know how it goes on the next album. I have thoughts. Okay, so this is this whole section. What's happening here? We kind of building on this how you call it, kind of funny, sarcastic vibe, but now we're like, wait, there's actually some like serious emotions behind it.
Yeah, because there's something behind everything, like in terms of the themes of the album. But this is played more as a metaphor, so it allows for more like theatrality. Is that even a word?
And it is now more of a
Theatrality,
more of a
theatrical approach. Yeah, that's even better.
more drama.
More drama, but and the lyrics are kind of tongue in cheek as well, more like predatory in a way. The first half of it is very much someone looking at someone else in distress and making fun of them, in a way.
Is it?
And look at this, like glassy eyes and half open mouth. You're just so endearing.
Check it out, Joe. Yeah.
Looking back at all the mistakes you've made with slight amusement.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It is uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. And there's a kind of almost like the entire song is about delusion and diction in many ways, and the entire song is kind of a fever dream. So there's kind of some euphoria behind it. So yeah, it's quite kind of sexual in a way.
We have still some of the acoustic guitar still going through. This is Romain's best attempt at manouche jazz. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
worst attempt.
Worst attempt at manouche jazz. Electric guitar is very pretty. And now we move into like the sort of first pullback
Yeah,
of the song. So we are about 2 minutes in, and we had this whole building on this pattern, and then we're going into this.
and this section, this ramp up is aptly named Blue Balls, because the intent pretty much was to make it feel as if we're going to go into a heavy section, but just
don't.
pull back.
Just stop
Yeah,
right before we reach
and
it.
go back into the major sounding stuff because yeah.
So good. What Pablo did here to go from this kind of pam param param, Like we're already a bit tighter here. It's a bit less shuffly.
Yeah, more
it's already
nervous.
a bit more nervous than the previous part. But then he does this. Very cool, and the sound also morphs. So we have, if we're talking about recording, for example.
Oh, that's right. You used the different kits here.
We used, we were morphing from
The rock to the metal one.
rock to the metal kit, yeah. The track on the bottom here is our rock kit, and then the track on the top is our metal kit. So if you listen to what we recorded on drums, it sounds like this. So yeah, we moving right in the middle of a roll, sort of changing kits.
Yeah.
Which is part of the whole process of how to make this transition smooth.
Yeah.
We have some rhythm metal guitars coming in. Same with the bass. Play bass, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
No one ever said that.
No, nobody ever said that. Everything sort of has this morph moment, and
The effects.
and the effect, and the effects as well, of course, do that too. Yeah, it's all of fun stuff that we do quite often. In this song, we have a lot of percussions.
Yeah.
Because we kind of wanted to give it also a lot of extra rhythm texture. We even had a orchestra cymbal, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
for the.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And the percussions in the break right after this were very important as well.
That's true. Yeah. This whole. So I have some big percussions and some of this. Well, of course, very important. Which for me actually really makes this part. And some sound design.
But yeah, like we wanted those big percussions to be very organic and natural sounding, but we couldn't find a way to, with the stuff we had, to record very big sounding and massive and low percussions. So we had to use some sound design to double them.
Yeah, I kind of just stack him
Make it
with
sound
some
more epic.
samples. And here we go into basically the second version of that intro riff. Like we're gonna repeat again
The entire
this
pattern.
beginning here. We're gonna repeat this whole pattern one more time.
Yeah.
Twang.
Again, like 6 or 8 layers of guitars that end up not being very clear in the mix, but they all bring some movement.
Good moment for us to. It would have been a good moment for us to decide not to have sound effects here, but we do. So voila, here they are.
They do sound better than in the first verse, I think.
They do, yeah, I agree.
And also, kind of a small trivia about this. So, the first version of the final mix, we received right before releasing this song as a single. So the song that's on YouTube has a very specific mix. And when I listened to it at home, like on YouTube, I was like, man, this sounds like shit. It's not okay.
Really?
Yeah. And so I asked Julien, because I had asked him to do some tweaks and changes that just didn't work. So I asked him, like, please, Julien, would you go back to the previous version? I'm sorry, like, and he, like, we had to master it again. And so the mix that's on YouTube is not the final mix.
In the lyric video.
Yeah, in the lyric video. And this was the song that I think triggered my understanding of the mix being not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was a very bass heavy and dense song with a lot of arrangements. And it lacked so much punch in that lyric video.
So much, yeah.
So
No, I agree.
I'm glad we went back to the previous mix.
Yeah.
Which was the one we used on the Magnets streaming video. So 3 singles with 3 different
Nice.
mixes, yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah, amazing. Very professional.
Professional.
And Julien was so patient with it all. Because
I think it's a good choice for us for that
Julien
reason.
is the best, yeah. Because I went back on so many decisions. Oh, can we just change this guitar again? I'm sorry, like 5th time in like 4 versions. Can we use a different cab? Can we make the bass lower and higher? And, yeah, but it worked out in the end.
It did. So this is the kind of the second part. Lead vocals here. I mean, all vocals here very cool as well.
Getting by with the living.
This harmony is so weird.
That's spicy. I was just gonna say, like, clearly we didn't worry too much about tuning here.
Getting by with the living is a waste of time. It's a Monday now, dancing ashes we vaporized are hiding the night. We might as well dig down now. Unfold rising layers.
So now we're listening to the vocal recording session. That's why everything jumped up super close, because it's not the mixed version anymore.
Embracing the fever, sweet delusion.
That's my favorite.
That's also kind of a big regret of mine that we didn't kind of nail this thing, because the idea was so fun.
Yeah.
To have so different for one single note to have harmonies come in every like quarter notes or so, with different notes and stack up.
Like you see it here. There's the lead vocal does one note here,
Sweet delusion.
and then 2 sweet, and then down lu. We have one harmony. So every bar, every half a bar, we have another note coming in.
Yeah,
which is really fun.
Which is a very Muse thing to do. Very big influence for this song in general, I think.
Yeah, I think in the final mix you probably don't hear it at all, but
it's too dense for this. Kind of you can hear it, but it doesn't give the sense of things building up as well as we hoped it would.
No, but it does. What I do hear now with a bit of perspective is that it does provide the transition.